Hey there everyone out in Tactical Monster Land. I am Finity, one of the Tactical Noobs, here in my Tactical Monster headdresses, and we are here to bring you another Tactical Monster character that is coming into your game. Now you may have seen this one already. The name of this character is Liberty. Now Liberty is a replica of this US Statue of Liberty and has some features that do seem like something the Statue of Liberty might do if you piss her off. So let's go ahead and start talking about some of the basics here. So here you'll see the progression of all of the different abilities for the character. Now the key thing to remember here, of all of the ones that you can see, level 12 is going to be the most important because that is when Liberty gains the energy bonus. Now that energy bonus helps with the ultimate, which we'll get to here in a second, and makes it so that you get the ultimate a little bit quicker. Now let's talk about the common ability. Now the common ability is Primal Flame. Now it's pretty straightforward. She hits you with fire. Now she is a ranged character, so she throws the fire at you. She doesn't just stab you with the fire, she launches it at you. So it's actually a pretty neat ability to watch in terms of the graphics, and we'll go into the stats in a little bit here, but graphically, pretty interesting that she throws fire from her torch. Now let's look at her ultimate ability. So her ultimate ability is that she will deal 50% damage to all enemy units, but doesn't just stop there. What it does is that it decreases the initiative of all damaged enemies by 8 for 2 turns. So it'll slow down all of the enemies. Additionally, once you get it maxed out at level 18, what you will also get is an increase in the initiative of Liberty. This skill cannot be blocked and is unaffected by distance penalty, meaning that regardless of where Liberty is versus all of the enemy units, the initiative decrease is all going to be the same. So Liberty's ultimate helps to change the way that the speed works in those rounds once she gets those ultimates off. Now this is only against the enemy. What can she do for her allies? Let's look at her passive ability. Now the passive ability for Liberty is really what ends up being key here. So the first part is that based on whoever is the closest ally at the beginning of specific turns, which changes with leveling, Liberty will give them +7 to their initiative, which makes them go a little bit faster. Here is the key though. At level 15, Liberty will also give them an additional energy. Now this additional energy is key because any character that has a high ultimate amount is going to end up being crazy fast, especially when you team Liberty up with some other specific characters, which we'll get to in the synergies. But now let's go ahead and look at the stats to see how effective Liberty really is. Now when you look at her stats, there's a few things that stand out here. The first thing is that her defense is really good. She has a really high physical defense. She has a pretty good magical defense. So she really does have a good defense, which you would expect from a statue being the way that statues are. But her hit points are low, meaning that the defense is trying to offset some of the low health. And because of that, she might end up being a little bit squishy just because of her total hit points. Now, defense does help to kind of mitigate that, but probably not enough to really justify a lot of her survivability. What she does have, however, is middle of the pack damage, middle of the pack initiative, which helps you kind of move forward with the character and help with your allies in order to try and maybe supplement the damage a little bit, and as we know from her abilities, helping more with the initiative changes that are going on. But what you see here, which you would expect from a statue, is that she is not very mobile, meaning she's not going to get across the map. Now it's a good thing she's a ranged character, because if she was a melee character, this character would be a disaster. But as a ranged character, Liberty can work out pretty well with the initiative changes on the right team composition. So with that, let's take a look at some of the synergies and counters that we found as we were playtesting. Now normally during this segment, we tell you about some of the synergies that we found with the characters. But this time, there was a very specific team that popped out as one of our favorites. And we have decided to dub this team Pigs Gone Wild. And the Pigs Gone Wild team is set up of 4 characters. Of course, we start out with Liberty. We also have Mr. P, the pig himself. We have Carissa. And we have Frankie. Now the way this team synergizes is because with Carissa and Liberty being closest to Mr. P, now positioning is very important with this team, that will allow Mr. P to actually use his ultimate in turn 1. Now, the gameplay you're seeing, we used level 12 characters in the classic mode of combat to just kind of play around with it and see what the pluses and the minuses are for the characters, and Liberty is obviously kind of a weak character like we talked about with the stats. She's not a damage dealer. She can survive a good bit, but that's pretty much it. But what we saw is that with Carissa reinforcing Mr. P, you can get ultimates going very quickly. And then you add Frankie, who is there as kind of a meat shield. He's able to put protection up on any character that's going down. When his ultimate is up, he can put some shields on. So it will provide a shield for Mr. P, and Mr. P can then go wild on the other team. So the Pigs Gone Wild team is definitely a team that's very interesting to play with, and you guys might have fun with. But on the other side, Liberty, being a very weak attacking character, is a pretty easy team to actually deal with. Whenever you have any kind of strong attacking characters, you can find that Liberty ends up being actually a hindrance on the opposing team. Some of the characters that we found that really managed to handle Liberty pretty well are Jax and Wuxi. And Wuxi is because you can help control some of that energy gain that's going on, and Jax is just a beast, and he can really do a lot of damage to Liberty from what we see. So these are some of the synergies and the counters we faced. As you guys test out with Liberty, let us know in the comments what you guys think and what you found as well. And please make sure that you subscribe and hit that thumbs up button, and let us know what you would like to see more in our content. So with that, we are the Tactical Noobs, and we are signing out. And flip that. Wow. It was not a good idea, Grande.
Oh.
You attacked the egg?